Good morning, and welcome back to our shared space here on YouTube. I call a natural connection with the shaman. Today we have the 10th Goetia, Buer. 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 Buer is a spirit of Sagittarius, which kind of made sense last when I did a reading last night. Cancer and Sagittarius was possibly Buer channeling moon messages for fourth house energy. So Buer is represented as a centaur, right? A centaur is a half man, half archer. This represents in alchemy the union of the conscious and unconscious mind. Conscious and unconscious mind. Subconscious is in the middle. The archer would be the conscious mind, focused. It takes a lot of extreme focus and poise to really practice archery to hit your point, right? So the man part, the archer, is representative of the conscious mind, and the horse, raw, primal instinct, is represented as the unconscious mind in union, meaning they're working together. In runes, this would be like the Raido rune and the Ehwash rune. The rider on the horse. Raido is the rider. Ehwash, Ehwaz, is the horse. So, and the same thing in runes. Those two runes represent union of the conscious and unconscious mind. So that's who Buer is. This is what the alchemy of Buer does for you. So we're going to get into some descriptive energies about Buer and what to expect this week. I wanted to do it on the full moon, so it's not on Friday, but the full moon energy goes along with Buer. So Buer is a president. Presidents have the power to sign or veto legislations. They command the armed forces, ask for written opinion of their Congress, grant pardons, and receive ambassadors of other regions, countries. So that's his role in the spirit realm of the shadows. Unconscious, right? Remember, none of this here has anything to do with it all just has to do with becoming one with your unconscious mind. If you haven't noticed the theme by now, the theme of demons is your fears, your, not in a negative sense, but your ignorance or their lack, therefore, of knowledge of things. That's what fear is. Fear is a lack of knowledge of something. So what we do not know, we fear, right? And we do not know the unconscious unless we do integration work. That's what Goetia and Atoria do. And then being one with the universe, it's like this. If you need a visualization for what I'm about to explain, watch the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio. And when he has his architect in his dream, you'll see what I'm talking about. So, understanding yourself as connected to the universe, you can get a visual for this in this movie. It's really like this. When you integrate your unconscious with your conscious mind, you learn to co-create with this, coexist, co-create with this reality you're in, right? So in the dream, they're walking, Leonardo's walking this new architect through his unconscious mind. And it's just like a normal life, like we live right now. But he asks her, how'd you get here? And that's when reality starts crashing. Because she's like, huh? He tells her, we're in a dream right now. And then the world starts, right? Well, there's another part where he's walking with her and he's showing her how to create in this dream so that she can build the structures, the architecture of the world in other people's dreams that they're going to go into. So being in union with the universe is very much so being in union with your unconscious mind. As they're walking, she asks him, why are all of your projections, the people in the video, being so hostile with me? He says, because my unconscious mind knows that you don't belong here. So that's a good visualization because it's really kind of like this. When you can integrate your unconscious mind with your conscious mind, you can really see this world for what it is. You are a character in your own dream, and everything and everyone in this reality is a projection of your dream. The only way to truly understand this is to start integrating your unconscious mind, things you do not know and are afraid of, with your conscious mind, rational thought. Okay, so that's enough about that. Buer's color is orange, which represents fire, sacral chakra, creativity, emotions, and sexuality. Water fire, like acid. And the combination of fire air, sublimation process, meaning heating some kind of matter until it gives off a vapor. A moon message. You will never be able to get what you want unless you go out and get it. Okay. Sublimation is the process of heating matter until it gives off a vapor. And then, like, if this was a beaker, right, this is what we would be heating. This would be the spout going into another collection that was like this. The vapor would hit the top, steam and cool, and come down to a liquid. You collect that vapor in another vessel, and that is the essence. So it's talking about your unconscious and your sacral energies. So this would be working on your emotions. And let's just say, if you don't have the proper glassware and distillation or sublimation tools, you look into some things that deal with your creativity or do something creative that really enhances your emotions. Maybe it has sexual content in it. Maybe you do some kind of art, very graphic and detailed, so that you can tap into the emotions that you have not been working with and then allow them to permeate, and then you creatively express them. However that works out for you. That's what the color orange represents. An incense to use while working with Buer is storax. I had to look this one up. I never heard of it. Storax is really good for meditation, grounding, and spiritual awareness. So when we get a little further into like the moon messages of today, I'll talk about this too. But ways to temper and maturely, okay, maturely and healthily process your emotions are to meditate, ground and become aware of what you're feeling in the moment. So storax is a good incense to work with this week. Metals. On Buer sigil are the metals for iron, mercury, and mercury and iron. Now there's various different understandings of the alchemical process of this, but what spirit has shown me is that what it means is magnetized fluid iron. Okay, so this process is breaking iron down in hydrochloric acid, filtering it, cleansing it, filtering it until it's just like a powder substance, and combining that with mercury and then tempering it also with smaller amounts of hydrochloric acid and other steps to make the mercury and the iron become one so that it's magnetized fluid iron. Okay, this process, as you're doing your unconscious conscious integration work, is the process to magnetize interactions to your life. We got all these retrogrades, right? So why not use them to your advantage, right? Things are magnetizing towards you, right? With Mercury retrograde. Well, bring it in. Bring it in. Maybe some of these things that are coming into your life need to be processed. Maybe they have a lot to do with your sacral chakra energy. So work with them. How do you work with them? Well, Buer's planet is Mercury as well. Using the Mercury planetary seals 1 through 5, you would invoke the spirits of the earth to grant things contrary to the order of nature. I'm going to stop right there. Becoming integrated with you and your dream body in this reality, right? Inception, understanding that integrating your unconscious conscious mind is how you are in tune with the universe around you. Okay, grant things contrary to the order of nature to bring one's services to heaven. What your spiritual work is, like, what are you devoted? Everyone has some kind of higher power belief, right? Unless they don't, and then they're an atheist, but they still believe in something. Something could be numbers, I don't know, science, or they could just believe in the human experience. That's what Satanism is. It's believing in the human life and nothing beyond. Atheist is the same thing. Basically, they believe this is it, and when you die, you decompose, and that's the end of the lights. But whatever, everybody believes in something. What I like to call that belief is spirit. Whatever you believe in and you put works towards, say you believe in the imagination, right? This is a time for bringing your spiritual works here into physical reality, working with the retrogrades that are already bringing, right? Just filter for clarity. Steam the things that are coming in sublimation to where the steam from the matter has collected into its purest form, liquid, and gathered in essence. Okay? Work through things as they come in. You want to bring your spiritual works into physical reality that are rooted in your heart. Okay? And this will open the doors to great abundance. You can work with Mercury's talismans 1 through 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you want more information on those, you can either look them up or you can leave a comment or DM me on GrayWolf8084 Instagram. I won't be checking that Instagram until tomorrow. And I can help you, I can guide you where to find information to work with them. But if you want any more than that, there will be a fee. But anyways, if you already know about the planetary seals, work with Mercury 1 through 5 this week. All those things we just talked about, you'll know what to do. You use each talisman and create your own invocation from them. Okay, Buer teaches philosophies, both moral and natural. Moral meaning the higher good, and more natural, like this is the philosophy of reality, realism, right? For every high, there's a low. For every up, there's a down. And then there's a middle ground. So this week, you might be met with things that have you question morals, question your own morals. How do you think? How do you process things? See the natural order of things in law and understand it. Whereas before you might have been on one side or the other of the fence, now you simply become the whole, right? The whole circle, and there's a fence in the middle. You see it as one thing. Okay. You might work in logical arts like grammar, logic, and rhetoric. Okay. You may be a writer. You may be into philosophy, logics, and or you might be a influencer or public speaker, rhetoric, someone who influences. So he can help you with this, or the unconscious energy you're going to tap into can help you with this in your week to come. You can learn the virtues of herbs and plants very easily this week, okay? And it's a good time to heal distempers in men and bring good spiritual allies or familiars. So if there's any, hostile energies out there, this would be a good week to work on, or it wouldn't really be much work. There would be good energy to heal these situations and remedy it amongst your people. And if you need to, call on spiritual allies, spirit guides, animal spirits, fetch spirits, angels, ascended masters. Familiars are spiritual allies that help you in the spirit realm. Okay. This is the practical intellectual symbology of the unconscious and the chemistry practice in the sigil, representing dissolving iron in acid, then extracting the powdered iron to blend with mercury, creating a fluid magnetic solution, which metaphorically symbolizes dissolving our thought patterns to clarity, and thus leading to more tangible results. Get benefits from your intelligence. Thoughts turn to form, right? So, sublimate your thought process. You probably have all kinds of things in thought, right? But what do you tangibly get from it? Like, are you making process? And we'll get into that in a moment here too. So the whole process here we're trying to get is to tap into the conscious mind, the higher thought process. We call this the Notoria Angel Aladia, the giving God. In this process, you will become innocent by forgiving yourselves and others. This allows spontaneous changes in your life and harmony. This harmony leads to fruitful, stable success and fulfilling fidelity or loyalty. It will heal dis-ease, whether physical or, like we said, hostile energies amongst friends, families, loved ones, people, relations, and overcome negativity, forgiving yourself and others. This helps you by further understanding complex things, such as, chemistry. How does chemistry to relate to astrology and human sociology and human behavioral patterns? Well, try it. You'll see. It works together. You might be an alchemist. So today is Saturn Day. Saturn's Day. Our date equals 26, which stands for renewing intelligence. The number 26 itself is Saturnian in vibration. 2 plus 6 equals 8. The gate of eternity is opening. Didn't we just talk a little bit about opening the gates of abundance with working with Mercury? And the path of perfection, perfecting yourself, which means you're not going to ever be perfect, but living a more enjoyable life. The number 8 arcana is Strength card. Take a softer approach to the challenges in your life. Since we got the number 8, we're working with 8th house energy, secrets, ritual, occult. Occult just means in-depth spiritual practices, alchemy. Death, rebirth, and transformation, or what I like to call personal changes. Intimacy and shared resources. The unseen forces shaping your lives. How does conscious, unconscious, astrology, moon, alchemy, chemistry, herbs, plants, what we're talking about now, these are all hidden forces. These are angelic divine knowledges. They shape and mold you, whether you know it or not. Becoming aware of it helps you live a more harmonious life. We're dealing with Scorpio energy and Pluto energy. You might be interested in chemistry, detective work, magic, psychologist. Colors are deep red, crystals are opal, metal is steel, and you might like cactuses. I don't know. I just said that. Our moon energy, full moon energy finally. Tonight in Zodiacal astrology, what's really in the sky? The full moon is in Capricorn, 5th house, opposite the sun in Cancer, 11th house. I have a lot here, but I'm going to break it down. This represents emotional and practical balancing. Tension between desires and long-term goals is what you may be experiencing. You might be struggling with long-term goals, creativity, and social involvement as well, with the need to nurture yourself. You might be wondering, how can you nurture yourself and contribute to a community? This is an opportunity to mature and find healthy ways to express your feelings, considering how you can contribute to your community while also pursuing your passions, and see the progress made and work still needing to be done. So what I did here is I listed down a list, 3 things you can do this week that can help you with everything we just talked about. Number 1, healthier and mature ways to express your feelings. First of all, you need to learn to pay attention to your own feelings and notice what influences them. After you've started doing this, journal them and keep track of them. This way you can identify your own patterns and triggers. Ask people you trust how they perceive emotional expressions, not just of you, from everyone. Allow your feelings to come without judgment. It is a normal part of being a human, so try to understand your feelings. During this time, practice meditation when these feelings arrive. Deep breathing. This will help you become more present and aware without judging your feelings. Just observe them without reacting. Develop creative outlets like art, music, or writing. Practice relaxing techniques like deep breathing or muscle relaxing practices. This is where you sit there in whatever meditation pose you want. And as you breathe, you just focus on relaxing the muscles in your head, then your eyebrows, then your cheeks, your jaw, behind your ear, your neck, all the way down to your toes. Number 2, how can you contribute to a community while still working on your goals? Do volunteer roles that contribute to sharpening your experience in the work you choose. Use your skills on social media. Keep a schedule. Do not take on anything last minute, and do not let people pressure you to take on last minute things. And set realistic goals. This is how you can contribute to a community. And third, and then we'll get into 8th house. Third, look at what progress you have made, and then look at what you still have to do to further or complete things you have going. Okay. Now, 8th house in Chiron. You're probably dealing with identity wounds, personal power issues, and assertiveness. No, I wrote personal power twice. These things are stemmed from experiences relating to either shared resources or going through changes or even dealing with death. You may feel like an outsider today or recently since Chiron went retrograde. You may be going through personal changes in intimacy or dealing with intense emotions. This is the perfect time to integrate these experiences into your life and embrace them as your own unique identity. Embracing and accepting yourself as is the only true healing modality that actually makes progress. So that's what I have for you for your work this week with Buer, and I hope this is helpful for you. That's it.